Anxiety, oh my god, so I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
The situation was that bad, and I was like, okay, I can't sleep, I can't do anything. And I talked to my husband, and I was like, okay, should I just quit? And he was like, no, no, let's see what happens, everything. And sometimes, I feel like I even get mad at him when he say, okay, no, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, how can you say it? It's so difficult.
Yeah.
And then once it goes back to normal, I was like, yeah, he was right.
Yeah.
So yes, just don't forget to breathe.
Hello, it's Agrima, and you're with heLeads today. We're gonna start with one of my favorite aunties today for our episode. Would you share with us your name, please?
Yes, my name is Kavita Gupta.
Thank you so much for meeting and speaking with me today. It means a lot. Tell us a bit about yourself.
I came from India to America 20 years back, and I was housewife that time, and I was on H4. Then when we got our green card, I started working part-time because my husband was traveling and I wanted to get out of the house, and kids were small, so I didn't want it to work too much so I can spend time with the kids. Then kids grow up and I started working part-time and got study and became the real estate agent full-time.
Is that difficult to balance for you?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes I think, okay, why I'm doing it, but then I look at it, okay, it makes me happy working, and when you are happy, everything just go with the flow.
So you are really happy doing it, or do you feel like the majority of these decisions you take are for the happiness of your family, maybe over yourself?
Sometimes yes, but most of the times I am just doing it for myself. I just want to learn more and help people. So when I help people, it feels good from inside. So that's what I'm doing.
Was there a time or multiple times in your life that you think caused disruption in a routine you already had? And what was the toughest experience you may have had in your life where you felt helpless but eventually came out of it?
Yeah, lots of times things happened, and it feels like, oh my God, we here are only one. Whole family is in India, so we have to handle everything by ourselves. So sometimes it feels like you are totally alone here, nobody is here. But once the things are done, then it doesn't feel like when somebody is sick in India and something happened, bad happened, you feels like you are helpless. You can't go and reach them, and once everything goes back to normal, you don't think about it. So many times I thought, okay, no, we have to go back to India. I don't want to live here. And once everything is done, then you just said, okay, no, this is the better life. So stay here for the kids.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you mentioned that you had such an incredible journey from going to being a housewife to becoming this impressive real estate agent and working in many stores. So what would you say was one of the toughest parts of that experience, that transition for you?
For that transition, I will say we were trying to make more money, and we started doing the investment, and the investment went bad, and we started to learn from there, okay, what we need to do to make it better. And I started learning, and that's how I became real estate agent. And working with real estate agent and helping other people makes a big difference.
Yeah, it really does. It's amazing. Is there ever a specific moment that you remember where you felt really, really low? And why did that happen, and how did that feel for you?
Yes, I was helping a client, and they couldn't buy the house because they didn't have the money. And it had just happened recently, and they said, okay, they had the money coming from somewhere, and now they can't buy the house because they didn't have the down payment. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, you are buying the house, because he was veteran. So I was like, okay, no, I will give from my commission for the down payment, and we are finishing this, because it took us 6 months from building the house from down, and at the closing time they didn't have the money because his wife got sick and everything. So we closed that transaction and it felt really good.
That's
We did it.
amazing. That is such an amazing thing of you to What proved to be the most surprising or maybe unsurprising source of strength in all these little obstacles you've had throughout your life? What do you think serves as your main source of strength and gets you through it?
I think the main source of strength is my husband. Sometimes when I feel low, I just go talk to him and I say, hey, do I really want to do this? And we talk about it, and then I feel like, okay, yes, this is the better thing to do. Sometimes, like most of the time, I blame my husband for everything. Because you know how I got my first job? We were at the store closing and shopping.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him so many times, I want to work. And he was like, why can't you just work here? And I was like, this store is closing. And there was a manager and he said, are you guys hiring? And she said, yeah, we are hiring a couple of people. And she said, oh yeah, she's looking for a job. And she said, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? I was like, yeah. And the manager said, okay, when can you start us? I can come tomorrow. And she was like, okay. I was like, are you going to take my interview? She said, oh yeah, you just had your interview. And I got hired. That's how
amazing.
I got my first job in America.
Oh my god. Can we call the man of the hour, please? Can we bring him over here? Uncle, hello? Take your credit.
Oh no, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything that she does it. I'm just a support.
Did you ever at a moment doubt your strength in any of these things? And if so, what or who convinced you to gain it back and come back stronger than ever?
Lots of times. Shut up. Okay, can you repeat the question?
Yes.
Yes. I still doubt myself so many times. I just go like, oh my God, do I really want to do it? Can I just, it's easy to quit, but to keep going. So whenever I feel low, I just talk to my husband and say, hey, this is how it goes. And pray to the God, okay, give me the strength back. And both of those things help. I think the more is the talking is help. When you take it out of your system, you feel much better.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really glad that going through so much, you have somebody like that to speak to. And do you think you really did come out of all those tough experiences, or do experiences like that really brought you down still affect your life today?
Sometimes, yes, when you think too much, and if you don't think over and over or overthink it, I think life is much better if you don't think too much.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that myself also. How has going through such experiences or going through such immense transitions in your life changed your perspective on your life since you've been through them?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. How has going through this experience or other such incredible experiences changed your perspective on life and the people around you since then?
Yes, and I think I came out a better woman I am now than I was before. So it does help.
And specifically with real estate, when you see other people's journeys and you yourself have had, a downfall with investment in the industry. So how does it feel to be able to help people with those things? And what's one moment that you remember very strongly that made you very, very proud to be a realtor?
Like I told you the story, so things like that, it has helped. But sometimes, even if you try, you cannot help everybody. So that is the moment where I feel like, okay, yeah, I can do some things, but anyway, you can't help everybody. If people cannot help themselves, you cannot help them either.
That's true. But I think it's safe to say that we're definitely going in a good direction with realtors like you who try their best to help everyone anyway. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And what general advice would you give for life to people and children like myself in our generation so that we're prepared to handle future challenging situations that may be similar or not similar to yours?
I will say just go with the flow and life will take you the right direction. Don't think too much and listen to your parents.
Yeah.
That helps.
Okay, that's all I have for today. But thank you so much
Thank you
for meeting
so
with me.
much.
I really appreciate it. Did you?
It wasn't him, it was